Hey everybody, this is Joby, and today we're going to talk about the idea that there's a mass exodus or people are leaving ESO in droves because of the PTS and the announcement about light and heavy attacks. Personally, I don't think so. I think it's all fear mongering. Either people are just trying to get clicks or they don't know what they're talking about. It could be either one. So, what we're going to do is we're going to go to Steam's information about player base and how many people play a day, and it's really the only information you can find. So before we go, we have to talk about what are the sources of information. We've got Steam, and then those players that play is just every day. It shows you who's on their servers. There's Stadia, no information available. There's consoles, no information available. There's Game Pass for PC, no information available. So you can't find any information about that. The console player base is larger by probably 2 times, 3 times than PC or Stadia or any of that stuff. So we have to take all that into account, but we do have hard facts about how many players are playing through Steam. Okay, so if we just look at and say like Steam and then Stadia and Game Pass and PS4, 5, and Xbox is just going to be all this. Let's just say they're all the same, which it's not. I think console is way more, and I'm not sure about Stadia, but we can find out how many players are playing on Steam. You can see trends and stuff like that. Anything else is pure speculation, and when people tell you, "Oh, I know for a fact that there's more players on console or this or that," that is, it's there's no way to prove it. It's just anecdotal, and I've looked around. There's a thing called MMO population, and totally inaccurate. Every source I've checked that has said that they it's just a like a fun project. They're just guesstimating everything, and that they did it through. They looked at New World when that game came out, and then they looked at what the numbers were, and it was just so far off, like by a factor of 7. So I mean, they say there's 400,000 players a day on ESO. So if you want to go that way, okay, but I'm not going to use that information. So right now, let's go ahead and go to the Steam webpage and check it out. Okay, so right now we are on the Steam charts. And this is a website that shows you the exact numbers of what the Steam server is putting out. So I'll leave a link in the description to this exact spot and to show you. So right now we're on 48 hours. And if you looked in the past 48 hours, we've got 12,000, and then it's like 10, 11, 15, 16. It goes in a cycle back to 12, goes back up again, and then all the way up to 14,000. You can see here it was like 19,000. This is, 14,000 4 days ago, 19, 24-hour peak, and then the all-time peak of the 48 hours is 49,000. Okay, now if we go to the week, look, it's an up and a down cycle. We had a 0 here, and that means probably the server was down, I would imagine. And then here is, we got 13, and it heads all the way up to like 22, and then it goes down 4, and then all the way up to, 20. This is just a week, okay? Then we're going 15, and then up to 18, and down here all the way at peak, 17, then back up again. And it's like 17, it goes up again, 17, and up again. Same, 18,000. All right, so if we go to a month, this is the most relevant. Look, it's just an up-down cycle, up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down. There's no huge drop-off like where nobody's playing. I mean, this, for some reason, these days, there's like 4,000. If you go over here, it's the same thing. Like 5,000, go all the way over here. But we had, all the way from here of the the lowest valley was here. Kind of hard to get that with the controller. 6,000, and then we just had a bunch of peaks. Some valleys, but they were higher. See, that's like 12,000, and then 27,000. Okay, we're all the way over here, and this is a month. All right. You can go all the way. You can do 3 months. It's not, the information is not that relevant, but it's pretty similar. And look, it's from here it was down, and it was even all the way up to here, and then went back to the same spot. It's just like the same, a little bit lower. And then if we go like, let's just do a year. Go ahead and go to a year. Now, this is after the pandemic, and we're at 35,000. Okay, just, it's like 21, and then it starts going down because people are going back to work. and then here we had a low here, and this is still 20,000, okay, which is higher than it is now, and then it went back up, and then kind of returning to normal. So if we go from a year and then we go to 6 months, it's going to just be, this wave and this up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, like that. All right. But to me, the most relevant is about a month. And as you can see, it's just the same cycle over and over again. There's no mass exodus of players. It's just like people come, people go. And we have to remember the pandemic is going to have a big boom, but then it's going to have a drop off when everybody has to go back to work. And here, 2016, if you look, it's like pretty low, and then a big boom of players in 2018, 2020, a big boom of players. Probably that's like Graymore, because they said they had a huge influx of players, and then it's going down a little bit. But look where it is in 2022 compared to 2016. Okay, so if you just look at the numbers and you didn't even know what it was, and you didn't have any bias from being in the game, you would say, yes, this is successful. You can't look at Xbox or PS5 or 4's numbers. You can't see Stadia. You can't see Game Pass numbers. So you just have to speculate that, this is probably a cross slice, like an average. And I know lots of people are going to come at me and they're going to say, oh no, it's because everybody's leaving all the other places and not PC. But there's no influx of players either, okay? It's just the same, and pretty much the same. And we did have a huge influx in 2020. And, if you look, that's like, it says July 16th, 2020, and that's Graymore. So that peak has stayed the whole time. So I'm going to say it's probably about the same on the other platforms. Now, maybe there's more numbers, but it's probably about the same type of cycle. People are basically the same. All right. I'll leave a link to this, and you guys can come check it out, and let's get back in the game. All right. You can tell that definitely ESO has lost some players, but you have to remember that that information doesn't go back to when the pandemic was here, and there were way more players. There's a huge boom in players. During the pandemic, when it was in full force, people were playing like crazy. I noticed it on the YouTube channel with views, a lot more views, and then it dropped off. It just dropped off like all the way to the bottom. People were going back to work. They didn't have time to play. They had already played a lot. So people were probably just thinking, oh man, I need to get back to work. I need to quit playing video games, stuff like that, guilt. You never really know why people don't play or why they don't watch videos on YouTube. They say that in the Creators Corner. I get a little private video that, comes up every once in a while and talk about different things. And they say themselves, they say, you need to be passionate about what your subject is, because there will be times when there's very low views. And it says, why are there low views? And then they say, we don't know. So if Google doesn't know, if YouTube doesn't know why there's no views, I don't think anybody knows, because they want to know and they have the resources. So it's just a odd trend of humans. They just do what they do, and we don't know. We can look at the facts, though, and we can tell certain things and trends that are happening. So I'm saying that nobody's leaving because of the patch notes. Maybe some people, but I think those people that are leaving and using that as an excuse were already out the door anyway. There is no mass exodus. I went to Craglorn today, and there's tons of people there. It's Saturday night. There's lots of people, just milling around and stuff. It was nothing like it was when it was the instancing, and people were just saying, oh my God, people are leaving. It's because of the patch notes. I've heard this kind of stuff for 5 years. Anything happens and people say, oh, they're done. It's it. We should just leave. And there seems to be a kind of a person that they enjoy that the game will fail. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because they don't really like it or they don't feel they're good and they hope nobody gets to play. Not really sure what's the deal with that, but just don't believe it. Any of you new players, the game's fine. It's going to be around. They're making money. Everything's good. It's not, whatever problems are in the game. Every other MMO has that. I remember when New World came out, and for a month before it came, it's like, RIP. People were on my comments in my YouTube channel saying, well, RIP ESO, New World is coming. And then I'm in a couple of discords, that are talk about different stuff, and everybody was going, "Yeah, man, it's over. We're finished with the ESO. We're going to New World." Then when New World came out for about 2 weeks, 3 weeks, everybody was just all like, "This is the greatest game that's ever been made. It's so fun. Crafting's great." And then next thing you know, like a month later, massive hemorrhage of players. They lost like 500,000 players a day. It was up there real big. It was like maybe 900,000. I don't know, but they suddenly lost all their player base, and everybody in those discords that I was talking about was like, "Oh well, y'all want to group up and do some ESO runs." The truth will be seen when this White Strikes Mayhem comes, and it's gonna be packed. All those discords, those people are gonna come back. They're gonna play the White Strikes Mayhem, because that's the most fun PvP event, and it's really amazing and it's very fun, and those players will come back. But the truth also is the main player base of this game doesn't even look in the forums. They don't know about the patch notes. They don't know about, YouTube channels. They just quest and play the game as if it were Skyrim. That's probably 70% of the player base. PvP is small. In-game trials, people are small. And people like me that do everything, and I'm just average. I'm not really, really good at anything. I just like all the stuff, and mostly what I really like is the social aspect. My social game is strong. I'm an elite chatter, but it's just, you don't need to worry about like people leaving and there's going to be nobody around, because it's just not true, and it's been going on for 5 years. A lot of people just like to jump up on a rock and scream that everything's terrible and it's all going to die and we're all going to, the world's coming to an end. And then you go outside and look around and you're like, doesn't look like the world's coming to an end. Don't worry, because those people, the fear-mongers, they're just, I think they're just extremely unhappy is the problem. And I don't want to be unhappy. I want to be happy. So I make the decision to be happy, and then I am. Well, all right, that's about it for today. So please give me a like and a subscribe if you enjoyed the content. Leave a comment in the comment section. Tell me what you think about the fear-mongering. Tell me what you think about, is there a mass player exodus? And if there is, bring some facts, okay? Don't tell me, well, Nephis said, because it doesn't mean anything to me. I don't care what Nephis or Deltia or Outcast or any YouTuber said. Actually, if they don't have facts and numbers about what they're saying, I don't care. I mean, I like those guys. They're great YouTubers, respect the hustle, but I'll debate anybody. Anything I'm passionate about, I come with receipts. And if anybody wants to have a reasonable, rational argument with me, I will be glad to. But the moment you curse at me, you will be banished from the channel, and no one will ever see you post again. Join me on Discord, the most chill Discord server on the planet. There's a link in the description. And if you're not doing anything, 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time, follow me on Twitch. Upper Echelon Mediocrity is the name of the channel. If you're on Xbox North American server, you can join my guild. And my guild's name is, coincidentally enough, Upper Echelon Mediocrity. How did that happen? Right now we have 486 total members, 1 member pending, and 46 people online. Had a lot of fun today. We did a trial for the Endeavor, and I actually didn't even need to, and I didn't know it, but did it anyway. Asylum Sanctorum, it was great. We were 3 DPS down, and we still did fine. Power creep's a thing, y'all. We're not in the guild finder, so you need to send me a message on Xbox. My name is Coyote, Chaoty, and I'll get you in as soon as time permits, and whatnot. All right, so until that time, let's get paid.